In the heart of ancient Greece, steeped in myth and legend, a tapestry was woven not just with threads of history, but also divine intervention. A tale whose ripples span centuries and whose intensity cannot be forgotten. The story of Helen of Troy. Known as the face that launched 1,000 ships, Helen's beauty was both her blessing and her curse. From her divine origins to her role in shaping one of history's most legendary wars, her tale is a poignant blend of love, betrayal, and destruction. Our journey begins with the birth of this extraordinary woman. Helen was no ordinary child. She was born out of a union between Zeus, the king of gods, and Leda, the queen of Sparta. Zeus, assuming the guise of a swan, seduced Leda, casting the first stroke of destiny upon Helen's future. This divine heritage bestowed upon Helen otherworldly beauty that gleamed like the sun, leaving mere mortals awestruck and gods equally intrigued. Her name spread far and wide, as poets immortalized her allure and kings clamored for her hand in marriage. She was, from her earliest days, a symbol of almost unattainable perfection. But beauty, as we often find, is a double-edged sword. To secure peace in Greece, Helen's suitors swore an oath to protect her future husband and her loyalty. Menelaus, the king of Sparta, won her hand, and thus Helen became queen. Their union, though politically advantageous, was not destined to stay simply harmonious. Helen's life, though draped in luxury, was not without a sense of monotony, a calm before the storm, so to speak. Then, fate intervened. Enter Paris, the Prince of Troy, a man of fiery passion and unshakable ambition. This was no ordinary visit. Paris came to Sparta under the divine aegis of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, who owed him a promise. During a mythical contest called the Judgment of Paris, the goddesses Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite offered him gifts beyond imagination. Paris chose Aphrodite, who promised him Helen's love, and with it came the spark that would ignite an inferno. When Paris and Helen first met, it was as if the fates themselves paused. Helen, drawn to him in ways she never expected, saw in Paris an escape, a chance for passion and adventure, far from the stifling halls of Sparta. This was love to some and betrayal to others, yet undeniably a central turning point in history. Guided by the promises of Aphrodite, the two escaped together under the canopy of night. Imagine the scene, a darkened harbor, with Troy's ship bobbing gently in moonlit waters. Helen, draped in her golden gown, her resplendent beauty illuminated by the night, stepped aboard alongside Paris. With every pull of the oar, they moved not only farther from Sparta, but also closer to the abyss of war. This was not just an elopement. It was an affront to the codes of gods and men alike. When news reached Menelaus, it struck him like a thunderbolt. Fury gripped his heart as he called upon the unity of Greek kings, invoking their solemn oath to bring Helen back. Among these gathered forces stood legendary names like Achilles, unrivaled in battle, Odysseus, whose wit was as sharp as his blade, and Agamemnon, Menelaus's brother and commander of the Greek armies. Thus began the Trojan War, a conflict of epic scale, with Helen at its center. For 10 years, the Greeks besieged the magnificent city of Troy. Picture the scene. The towering walls of Troy stood defiant, while Helen's silhouette lingered above them, a figure both mourned and blamed. She would wander the battlements, her golden hair kissed by the sun, her presence a bittersweet reminder of all that was lost. The battlefield became a gallery of valor and tragedy. On the Greek side, Achilles moved like an unstoppable force, his rage echoing through the plains. Troy's champion, Hector, stood as the city's noble shield, a paragon of honor and strength. Their clash became immortalized as one of history's greatest duels. The gods, too, took sides, watching from the heavens as mortals carved legend into the earth. The true turning point, however, came not through brute strength, but through cunning. Odysseus, with his genius for strategy, conceived the Trojan horse, a giant wooden construction offered as a gift of surrender. The Trojans brought it within their impregnable walls, unknowingly sealing their fate. As night fell, Greek warriors poured out from within, opening Troy's gates from inside. Flames erupted, consuming the city as screams filled the air. What was once a symbol of Trojans' unyielding solidarity fell in a single, fateful moment. And amidst this destruction, Helen. Many accounts explore how she faced Menelaus amidst the ruins of the city. Some versions describe him raising his sword against her, only to hesitate as her beauty captivated him once again. Others speak of Helen begging for forgiveness, her divine allure proving to be both the cause and resolution of her suffering. Eventually, Helen returned to Sparta alongside Menelaus. But this was not the triumphant return of a celebrated queen. No, this was a woman bearing the full weight of history's judgment. Her name, Helen of Troy, came to symbolize not just beauty, but also the destruction it could wield. Yet, at the same time, she remains somewhat enigmatic, a multifaceted being caught between divine will and human emotion. Was Helen a mere pawn in a game played by gods, simply fulfilling roles they had designed for her? Or was she an independent soul, struck by the complexity of love, responsibility, and identity? Maybe she was all these things, or perhaps none entirely. This complexity makes her story resonate even millennia later. It is a story that holds a mirror to our own struggles with beauty, passion, and the weight of choices. And so, Helen's tale, immortalized in works like Homer's Iliad, continues to inspire and caution. Her beauty that launched 1,000 ships becomes not just a metaphor, but a lens through which we perceive power. Power that can unite or fracture, build or destroy. As the sun sets on this tale, one cannot help but wonder, was Helen a villain or a victim? A goddess like Muse, or simply human? Embedded in these questions is the timeless allure of Helen of Troy, a legacy not confined by mortal constraints, but one that eternally shimmers in the golden crossroads of myth and history. What do you think? Was Helen merely a pawn, or did she wield her own agency in a world dominated by gods and men? Let us know in the comments below, and if you were captivated by this ancient tale, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic stories from the past. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember, history is not just a record of the past, it is the rhythm of stories that shape our present and future.